You could change your life and the world today. And I'm going to explain to you why I know that is true, and I know that you are the one to do that because you were born a human and you decided to be alive at this time in our world, which means that there's something within you that you're meant to do that's going to make a big difference and change your life and our world, because the change that you will make is accepting more of yourself. The change that you will make is understanding your eternal nature, your life mission, or whatever it might be. And I'm going to explain to you why I know that you have that. And it's in front of you now, and it's probably speaking to you, probably pretty loudly, because as the world changes, you change. But the way that that happens is by you deciding to become your best self, to really ascend to your highest state of being. And we can all do that. We just do it in different ways and at different times, but it's within you. And that's why I'm going to give you this today. And there will be someone who will watch this because it's November the 17th. It's Sunday for me, November 17th. And so someone will listen to this and say, wow, I exactly what I needed to hear, because you will begin to understand that there are no accidents in your life, that you have a divine plan that is unfolding now. You may not have believed that, but I know that is true because it's all aligned. There's an alignment in the universe that you're connected to, and that is your authentic self. And when you start moving into that, you live the life you're supposed to have, and you start to evolve, ascend, and then so does our world. But on this date in 2022 is actually when I was supposed to tell you this, but we might not have believed it then. What I'm saying is that the only difficulty any of us have is belief. Belief of what we can accomplish individually and belief of what we can accomplish as a civilization in our world, because that's what we're deciding right now. And I was given that information to give to you, and so I'm going to give you a lot of it today because I do want you to feel better, especially if you're thinking that you're a little lost, or you're not finding your life purpose, or you're thinking the world is falling apart, or something's gone wrong in your life. None of those things happen. It's just that you're waiting to awaken to who you are and to embody your power. I did a channeling session. I held a Wilhelm channeling session for the full moon, and so if you listen to that, you'll get a lot from it because that was aligned as well. And it was about you choosing the life that you want to have, because that is a choice that we each make. But let me read you a little bit of the one that came through on in 2022 on this date. I'm saying this because what I've discovered recently is that Wilhelm has given me messages that will correspond on a particular date over years, because we must understand that we grow in our consciousness over time, over linear time. I didn't receive information that way, and that was something that was so surprising to me to discover that. But then I do understand now that what I received was aligned with the energetic changes in our world, because that's how we all respond energetically to everything, because everything in our world is energy. It just takes us a while to figure that out or to know how to use it, and even different scientists and philosophers are still figuring it out, and I'm going to be one of those because I was obviously given a way to start to put this together. Whenever we're in human form, we're supposed to bring in something that could make a difference, not only in our lives, but to our world. And that's when you know you've ascended to a higher state of understanding of who you are. But let's go with the first one, and then I'm going to throw in a couple of others that came through on November 17th in different years, because whoever's listening, you're going to get something from it. Because, again, the information I've received from Wilhelm, the reason that it works is that it's universal consciousness and guidance. So it works for everyone, at least anyone who's a human. November 17th, 2022. You could change your life and the world today. We know most of you will find it challenging to accept that statement, and as you do, we would like you to ask yourself why. You are each born with equal talent, ability, and a unique gift, and if you were to actualize it, you could have as much or more influence than anyone else you might witness in your world now. Your only challenge has been total acceptance of your authentic self. We reminded Roger of this fact last night and this morning, and he too has difficulty with acceptance, for it is something you each come to in your time and in your manner that serves your evolutionary goal and that of your world, for as we have said, they are the same. What Roger heard this morning was a reference to what we have provided all these years, the divine plan for humanity. You exist at a time in your world that we have called a restructuring, so you can choose what you want your life and society to manifest in your future. You do that by acknowledging who you are and owning your gift. There is another energetic shift in your world today, and we provided a message in 2012 on this date to aid you. As you study its content, please understand that we have provided information this way because you accept yourselves incrementally. But we gave you this message because you exist to improve your world at this time, and we offered the pathway. November 17th, 2012. Throughout your physical life experience, you are always seeking to take lemons and turn them into lemonade. While that popular saying may appear to you at first to be somewhat trite, it actually holds the key to the expansion you sought to experience. All events and situations hold duality or contrast, and expansion occurs when you can find the part of that equation that equals lemonade for you. You can think of it in terms of good and evil if that helps your understanding. However, all of it is always good when you seek to find it. When you think you have made some bad choice or decision, there is always a gift to be found there. Wilhelm. That was the message on that date, but I'm going to take you back a little further because there are energetic alignments of our planets too. And so there was a shift that we moved through in 2008. So I thought, well, let's see what the message was on November 17th in 2008, because that will probably give you a little greater understanding as well about what's might be happening in your life right now, but also how you can move through this period a bit easier in your life and in our world. See, because you're moving through an ascension process in your life, meaning letting go of old stuff, your old beliefs, limiting things, and all of that, which is what we're attempting to do in the world. But you are the one who must have that happen in your life for the world to have it happen. That's what we all come to understand at some point. But this one you'll really get a lot out of because it's what you're doing now. And I know that's true for every single person. We only experience anything in our consciousness, and our consciousness changes over time. And it changes by how much we can accept of who we can become, and that's always a day to day process. But this one from November 17th, 2008, kind of tells us what we're always up to. The most important part of your human physical life experience is your relationships with yourself, and it is also the aspect to which you have given the least attention. This is simply because you have learned and practiced the opposite. In an effort to develop into what you thought to be a worthwhile human being, you came to understand and therefore form the belief that it was noble to be selfless. It would be helpful for you to think of it as becoming self first. When you appreciate, acknowledge, and own all the magnificent parts of you, you also have so much more for all others. Remembering you are all one, it then becomes more obvious that your first attention goes to yourself in a grander sense. Expansion and evolvement demand, so to speak, that you remember your intended goal. After all, it is your life experience. Wilhelm. And so I know someone needed to hear that because they're wondering what's happened to them and why are they going off in all of these different directions. And maybe you're wondering, do I have a purpose? You could be asking that question. And yeah, there was a message that came through for you as well because you're doing it. You're living it, but it just might be a little uncomfortable because of all the energies that are changing. And depending on where you are on your understanding of yourself or your raising of your consciousness or just how willing you are to love yourself. And that's really what it always comes down to. But this one will help you understand that purpose because you have it. It's unfolding now. And this is why I know who you are because I had to write all of this stuff down for years. I'm just saying that because you will find that we bring in information in different ways. Mine was very unconventional because I channeled cosmic guidance and it was aligned with the changes in our world, which is why I can understand what is happening in our world now and knowing what you can do to cause your life to become more and also our world. November 17th, 2011. There is nothing more important for you during your physical life experience than your purpose. Your purpose is what you decided to accomplish and thus contribute during your journey. Each and every soul has this purpose, and each and every one is unique and important. There is no one purpose more important than another. Many times you may experience a feeling of being lost on your journey because you believe you may not have found your purpose. The actuality is you block your purpose from your vision and awareness by choosing to only see the purpose of others, making them more important, and thereby failing to notice your value. You may change that at any moment, Wilhelm. And so, for many of us, you may have felt that right now in your life. You may have been feeling it recently, but I'm telling you, we're supposed to. Because sometimes we have to be motivated to change to become who we're meant to be, and that is me as well. It was so difficult to understand that I could have brought in a philosophy or something that could have the ability to change the world, but I know that that's true because it happens through you, meaning that what you do happens in our world and we just do it in different ways. My life was meant to bring this in. We can change anything in our consciousness. Mind body healing, for instance, is about you becoming aligned with your authentic self, why you're here, and that is the information I was given. Again, self belief is the only challenge we have. I had it as well, but I have to move over that because otherwise I don't do what I'm meant to do, as you won't either. And so, what is happening is that we're moving through a generational change, and I downloaded this information that helps us heal, and that's what I experience. Healing means that you move through your generational trauma. You find the thing that you're meant to do in this world because everyone has something, as that message said. When I'm working with people, I can feel it very clearly, or when I'm doing a channeling session, as you might have heard, or if you listen to the last one, you'll hear I can always answer that question because there is a field of intelligence, consciousness that we're all attached to. I just happen to be writing it down for all of these years, but you can develop and do the same thing. But I'm saying this today because I know the energies are changing and we're going to feel more of them in the next in a while. But when you understand your importance and start moving to that place and gaining that belief that you exist at this time because you are that important, everything will change. And I know it's true because I've shown it so much. And that's why I'm continuing with my work. And you can check all of that out. Just visit my website. I'll leave links here because you have something that can cause you to become the most extraordinary person ever because you're meant to. Extraordinary means that you're something more than what existed before, and everyone is meant to do that. You just have to become willing. And sometimes it's a struggle, and I know because it was a struggle for me, but now I know that you can achieve anything and we can change anything, including our world. See you soon.